lot. You can read all that stuff in there later. But I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. Anybody know about Atlanta, Georgia? I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. And I started my police career there because after I went to a private institution, the same one that Dr. Bendros went to, Tuskegee in Alabama, because I came from a family of 10. And I decided when I was growing up, or I guess it was decided for me, because I believed in God. God was my best friend when I was growing up. I wanted to do something with my life. I wanted to help my family. You know, my mother and my sisters, I was like the second oldest sister. So I moved away. I got tired of being a Cinderella in the house, cleaning up and all that kind of stuff. So I moved away and went to school. And when I went to school, you know, I hated the police because the police used to come to our house after my father used to abuse my mom. And, you know, our lights were out. I mean, I didn't, like I said, you know, we weren't born that way in an okay position. And I remember the flashlights being shined in our faces. And I was born in 54, so you see, you know, my age. And I remember the police being wearing white. Anybody know what the Ku Klux Klans are? Anybody heard of Ku Klux Klans in here, you guys? Yes. Okay, well, I grew up watching the police in Georgia on horses wearing Ku Klux Klan's masks coming to our house. So that's how I looked at the police. I didn't like the police, obviously. So when I decided that this is what God wanted me to do, when I had to take a course to graduate from college, I decided, okay, I want to do something to make a difference, you know, in my life, in my community's life, in my family's life, you know, just to do something, you know, to see what I can do to change. Women were not prominent in law enforcement when I started in 77, 78. And I just short, 100 and some pounds, and I did it. You know, you can Google me as well and see some of the things that I've done as well. But I just needed to say that because I just need you to understand also that I went through some domestic violence as an officer. You know, when I came to Florida, I was first black police officer ever hired for the town of Palm Beach. Moved to Miami, that was up in Palm Beach, moved to Miami, and then I met my sweetheart. He was also a police officer with another major police department. And guess what? I found myself in an mostly emotional abusive situation, but physical at one time when he, you know, I was holding out a 2-year-old son and he thought I had somebody steal a stupid dog, a Rottweiler, that he loved. And he decided he wanted to, you know, abuse me. So I'm thinking I got in the room now, I got my AR-57 or whatever it is that, you know, I had my weapon. I'm like, I should do whatever, and this is not gonna happen. But I looked at my son, and I decided that, you know, I didn't have a job. This is the most important part, because he made me quit my job. You don't need to go back to Palm Beach. You can come here, move to Miami. That's what I did. You know, and then I had no job. All of my family was in Atlanta. I left everybody. I was there by myself. I had no money, and ladies, I know we have some men in the room, but I have to just say this. I had no money to even buy tampons. I had no money but my 2-year-old son. And I was like, what am I gonna do? So I told a friend what had happened. She's from another country. We were friends, she was in the neighborhood where he had hit me. She said, what did you do? And of course, by that time I had 15 years of law enforcement experience. You're in with a master's degree and police experience. So it can happen to anybody, is what I'm trying to tell you. It doesn't just happen to that group or that group or whatever. It happens. It happens. Yes, it does not discriminate. And so I decided, okay, here I am in law enforcement. It happened to me. You know, I went back to work. You know, what did I know? Police work. I went to work for this police department in Miami, Opelika Police Department. It's the worst city that people say it was the worst city in the county, in the state of Florida, actually. But I went to work there because I wanted to make a difference in that community, and that's what I did. I'm also a Rotarian, and I know your Rotary Club meets here. I'm a Rotarian. I went from, you know, because I wanted to help globally as well. And so it's no coincidence, I guess, that I'm here. I've done domestic violence talks in Canada, you know, back in the day, but I never, you know, really thought that I would be here either, back speaking to ladies, you know, gentlemen about domestic violence. But it's a global issue. It's a global problem, and we all have to address it. And of course, when Priscilla, you know, put the call out there, you know, I mean, they work with me like I tell people, they work with me like a slave. You know, my current position now, I'm the commander for the Victims Advocate Services Unit for the City of Miami Police Department. I have 10 victims advocates. And Miami Police, the City of Miami is very active and busy with domestic violence. And so, we do a lot of work. We have victims advocates, and you hopefully have some here. And so when she made the call to me, then I said, okay, good, because I've been with No More Broken Heart from the beginning. Because what I want to do is talk to people and let you understand from the police perspective, how the police see you as a victim, or if you're calling the police, what you need to do to get the best results from law enforcement. Because a lot of times what happens, and I wrote a bunch of notes, I'm not even going by my notes, oh my goodness, a lot of times what happened, I need to tell you this, you are not alone. That was one of our titles, and one of the No More Broken Heart workshops. You're not alone. Look at all the people that came out to support and to let you know what's being offered here in Belize. I researched before I came here. I Googled, I looked up information online. And Belize is the fourth largest Caribbean city that has the largest population of domestic violence and murders. Not just domestic violence, but murders and domestic violence. And I want to just read you a little something from your police commissioner. And I've been trying to get in touch with some folks before I got here from the police to see how their response is to domestic violence. But of course, they haven't called me back yet. But I'm gonna, it's my charge and my promise to you that I'm gonna continue to stay engaged. He says, murders in Belize are such a prominent issue that, this article rather, who said Belize ranks number 4 in global murder rates. Murder in Belize are such a prominent issue that the Commissioner of Police, I don't know if he's still here, Chester Williams, has said that the police department will be putting special emphasis on reducing the murder rate in 2019. This article came out in 2020. I don't know if he's done anything yet. You can tell me later. So when I talk to them, I'll know what to say. Williams maintains that the police cannot realistically stop all murders from happening, but said the department will be focusing on addressing the 2 foremost causes of murders last year. And what are they? Gang violence and domestic violence. And that is sad. Rotary can help out, because Rotary is international, of course. And when Priscilla came and said that the Rotary was here, I am the chair of the Human Trafficking Committee for Rotary, for my district, Rotary 6990, which includes domestic violence, because a lot of times domestic violence, human trafficking might be a cause of domestic violence, right? We've come out of domestic violence that's happening at your home. And because little kids want to get away, or people want to get away, they end up being with the wrong person, thinking that this is somebody that they love, and it's somebody that's going to traffic you and make you do things you don't want to do. So we need to make sure that we hold the Police Commissioner Williams accountable. So all the things that we just heard from the commission about the victims' complaints, that's very significant, because we were just talking about that this morning at breakfast, about what we can do. There's still, even though we have a lot of positive things that's going on in the United States and in Miami-Dade County is the model that a lot of the states are looking at, we still have a long way to go. And you guys have a longer way to go, because you're moving in the right direction, and that's why we're here to help you. We had our No More Broken Hearts workshop actually last week. And what I want to leave you with is just to basically tell you, I want to give you some tools. I use the word tools first. Weapons that you can use if you're involved in a domestic violence situation. What's one? Knowing that you're not alone. Number 2, don't let the abuser isolate you. That's what they try to do. You cannot make contact with your family, your friends. They tell you, oh no, you don't need to call this person. I'm the person that you love. Don't you love me? Don't you take care of me, your kids? No isolation. You gotta have somebody that you can talk to and tell about what's going on. Like give a secret signal if you need help right away. You gotta have somebody that you can tell. And whether or not people tell you, what did you do? They might not be at the level that you're at, and with how you're thinking. So don't blame them. We'll help them too. you know, but don't blame them, but you need to move on to understand that it's not your fault. It's not your fault. You're not the bad one in the relationship. It takes two people to have a relationship, right? One person can't have it by themselves. It takes two people, and if that person is not there for you, you have to make a safety plan. You can't just say, we just can't tell people, oh, you gotta leave. You gotta leave. Why you keep staying in that relationship? When we tell people that, then we're re-victimizing them. Okay? We can't tell them that. So, to have a no more broken heart workshop, which is what you need to continue to do, you are now surrounded by folks that are here to support you. It's not, you know, and we're here to tell you that you have people that walked in your shoes, that are walking in your shoes. This was one of the topics we used last week. You have people, we want to show you how to live your purpose. We want to tell you that you're not alone. So, and help is always here. Just make sure you get everybody's contact number before you leave here. Those are your tools, your weapons that you can use. Education is the key. You gotta be educated, and you gotta, this sign says the Wings on Women's Summit. You gotta grow your wings and fly. That's it. I'm gonna get down and try to do emotions.